1. Craig, how are we doing, my friend?
I was doing all right. I'm very disappointed now.
Yeah, massive points dropped. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's on Farke. I don't know what your thoughts were, but late subs. I know we always say about his subs and like they do pay off sometimes. Obviously, it can work out. We scored like most goals from subs, but today it was just a little too late, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. When it works, and you look back in hindsight and go, it worked, and when it doesn't, it's a problem. But from what I take, I mean, I always back Farker, but it's like when you saw it in the Newcastle game, and you see it again today. That when you see players running on fumes and you're just defending so early on in the game, it's like just make that substitution. They brought substitutions on and changed the way that they were playing, and then they were all over us. But you've got to be reactive to that, and bring some fresh legs on to counteract what they've done, and that's all it needed, because you could see that a goal will come in, and it's silly to give it away because you just make them substitutions, a bit, not a bit earlier, a lot earlier.
It's a tale of two halves, really. Like the first, let's go back. Obviously, the first half, first apart from like the first like 5-10 minutes, it was all Leeds in that first half. Should have been more than 1-0. Obviously, James Justin gets the goal, mate. I mean, could have been more, but good finish.
Oh, very good finish. I mean, he's been knocking on the door for the last couple of games, hasn't he, to score? Like just before the Derby game, he had a good chance to score against Newcastle, and then against Derby, again. He's been threatening to do it, and now he's got it. So hopefully, like he's a good player, and he got his reward today, and he's done well.
Yeah, I mean, Rodon, fantastic, winning the ball back. And then was it Starch, lovely little dink over the player, ran onto it, crossed the ball. DCL unlucky not to touch it. I generally thought Aronson was going to try and chase after it and do like a little pirouette and try and put it in the back of the net. Luckily, it was like a dummy run. So fair play. And then obviously good finish. Then DCL hits the post, and you just think,
It's not our day.
part of me just thinks you're going to score, but at the same time, it's the same old Leeds in it. First half brilliant, second half it's going to drop, and
But
evidently
how many
it's
times
doing.
do we see that we put that much pressure on teams and threaten, like, for 45 minutes? We're the dominant side, and it's like, but we have the chances to put that to bed, and we miss them, and then you just know that second half's going to be a long second half because you're missing chances to go like 2-0 up, 3-0 up, before half time, and we could have been comfortable then. And then by all means sit and defend and just keep your lead. But when you're 1-0 up, it's very, very difficult at this level to just sit and defend a 1-0 lead.
I mean, we had 10 shots in the first half. Everton have only this is the only second game they've had 10 shots in the first half. The other game was against us in the first game. So, and then all of a sudden, second half, we only have 4 shots. So it is a bit like, come on now, like something's got to give. Like,
Yeah,
but
we need to make them substitutions, like I said earlier, and just change it up, because you could see the players are running on fumes. Like Aronson's not got the legs that he had in the first half, and
no,
there were a point in that second half where he were running down, and then he stopped. Gruev were trying to make a run to into some space for him to play the ball, but he just couldn't get there fast enough. He couldn't make that run quick enough, and I know he's not the quickest of players, but he just couldn't get there. But you could see the legs are gone, and it's just like, and they had fresh legs on the pitch. So
yeah, I mean, they made 2 subs at half time and then one on the 71st minute, which Tyler Dibbling was doing well on their right hand side. And then obviously that's where the goal kind of came from, was that side. But even then, you just think, come on now. They made 3 subs. We made 1 in Tanaka, who kind of was at fault for their goal. And then all of a sudden, it's 85th minute. Oh, hold on a minute. We actually can make subs.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Buonanotte came on and had a couple of shots and did all right when he came on. And
Yeah,
Okafor.
and that's what I mean. You've been crying out for this type of player for for the last couple of seasons, and you got him, and you've left him on the bench when this game were crying out for someone to just
Absolutely.
hold the ball up and progress it forward. Like I was saying to you earlier, that first half you got Bogle, you got Justin, the wing backs that are bombing. They were spending most of their time in the Everton half. They were spending it in the final third, and in the second half, they barely got past the halfway line, and I was just like, what what's happening? That we didn't have anybody that could bring that ball forward, and like I said, like you said, Buonanotte comes on. You've got a player like that that's got a bit of class about him. That I think he'll do well at Leeds, and he's and he showed it towards the end. Albeit he didn't have time really to get in the game. Give him 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That could change the game.
I think even Okafor coming off the bench as well, which we'll discuss a bit more when we get on to them. But let's just discuss the players individually. Obviously, Darlow in goal. I'm to be fair, with any distribution of our keepers, I'm not keen on any of them. Still made a decent save though.
Yeah, it was a good save.
But it worries me when we play out from the back and he is calm on the ball, and yes, majority of the time it went to our players, but it's still that, oh god, here we go again. That you're nervous that your keeper's going to get kicked out for a throw in a couple of times. It's like, come on now.
I think that stems though from having keepers in like Melier and Perry that you're just worried automatically. But I think if Darlow like was the keeper all the time, we probably wouldn't be so worried. It makes me feel a lot safer anyway than the other ones. So
I mean, what did you make of him overall then?
I thought overall they were good because he didn't have much to do first half, did he? In fact, probably nothing to do. But then to be alert for that, to make a save like that, uh, it's the concentration levels have to be there, and you can't really fault him for the goal. I don't think many keepers are saving that.
No, it was a tidy finish, but still the fact outside of the boot, and he did a decent save. Still made another save as well. What would you rate him out of 10?
Probably give him a 7.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Right, Rodon next, mate. What did you make of him today?
Rodon, it's just good to have Rodon in your team, isn't it? When he's not playing, it's awful. But yeah, I think I'd probably say 7.5 for him as well. But he has too much to do in that second half.
Yeah, but still made decent tackles, good in the air, pushed it forward as well.
He is. He's the best defender, bar Biol. He's the best defender we've got.
I think Biol is better. I do, but obviously he's injured. But yeah, 7.5. I think it's fair. Bornau next, mate. I think mate. I generally thought Bornau did all right today. He's blocked a shot that, to be fair,
He blocked that shot, but it's like I feel like he could have got a crossbar for the goal. He could have got there quicker because you could see what was coming, and you were a bit delayed to react to it. But I feel like he could have done better there. He got turned a couple of times, and he's got no pace whatsoever. And yeah, he did all right. Like in parts, I'd probably say 7.
I'm going 7.5.
I don't think
the only reason why, obviously, you put an important block in. There was a couple of times when he made last ditch tackles and won the ball, and then pushed out, and then we countered attack or whatever, kept the ball. I generally thought that he was, if not better than Rodon overall. That's why I'm putting 7.5, because I think they were more on par than anything. But I thought, look, we all know what Bornell's like. He's a good backup, good player to have when needs be, but he shouldn't be starting week in week out. And obviously, when Bijol comes back in, he goes straight in the team over him. So, but
For
yeah,
me,
17.
he's just not a 90 minutes defender.
No, not week in week out. Absolutely not. No. He came off at. Did he come off today? Yes, he did. He came off in 85th minute again. Probably could have done with coming off 5-10 minutes beforehand as well.
Yeah.
Strouk next, mate.
Oh, he's very frustrating striker because it can be good at times and in moments during the game. Like today, in moments, he was brilliant. Like, you know, just like taking the ball and then progressing forward with it and, you know, making a good pass. It can be fantastic, but then it lets you down with them silly like mistakes where he nearly puts them through on goal just by, you know,
Well,
putting
he
it
slipped. He did.
in. Yeah.
So
It's very frustrating, but yeah, I'll probably give him maybe I don't know if to give him as low as 6.5, but maybe a 7.
I'll go 7. It was good tackling, good obviously in the air. He had a shot which was unlucky, went over, I think it was in the first half. It's just those little moments that stick in your head, like the slip, and then they're on through on goal. And then I think it was Bornal, the one that blocked the shot. I think that was the one that came
Yeah,
from his mistake. So
yeah, but he
yeah,
does it a lot, doesn't he? Like when you look back, when you think back over the games, like that, he's got that slip in him. He's got that bad pass in him. He's got that, you know. He
yeah,
just needs to iron them out. Like if he's going to progress as a defender, like and become what he can be or what we think he can be, he's got to iron them little mistakes out.
yeah. No, I agree. For those that are watching, listening, whenever you get around to it, let us know your player ratings. If you agree with us, let us know in the comments as well. Obviously, football is a matter of opinion, so what you think may be different to ours. Just let us know. Bogle next, mate. Now, great going forward today.
Mm.
I don't know about defensively because he got skinned fairly easy in the first half, but there was one moment that actually stood out for me when Everton had a call, and I think within 2 minutes, Bogle had one guy. It was had one guy in front of him, one guy behind him, and he had the awareness to know that the person was behind him. Shouted to another defender to pick him up while he went to that one, and it blocked out that throw, the short, quick throw. So awareness was good for him, but it's just he got done a bit too easily. I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think consistency with Bogle. He needs that run of games, doesn't he, to
Yeah,
get his rhythm going. And I think that's probably all it is. Because like going forward, like you can't fault him the way that he goes forward. But the position, I mean, I'm not going to put it down to his defensive qualities because the position that he's playing as that wing back with and Justin on the left hand side, they're playing so high up. They're gonna get turned sometimes, and Everton have got some tricky wingers, aren't they? So
yeah, but no, the thing is that even when he was in his half, it wasn't like he was pushed forward and got done. It was the fact that he was in our own
yeah,
half
but
and
it's,
he got
it's,
skinned very
it's,
easily.
it's running up and down that they've got that he's
Yeah,
got.
I get that, but what would you rate him out of 10?
I'd be happy to give him a 7.5. He could have probably got more had he created a bit more, but
7.
fair enough. So I see.
Justin next, mate, who for some reason decided to have our most amount of shots in the game today.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a fantastic signing, hasn't he? You know, again the same. Like it's the amount of times he was in the box. You know, and they got in each other's way, him and Bogle, didn't they, at one point? But yeah, again, I've been inclined to give him maybe an 8 just because he got the goal.
So I want to give 8.5. From a wing back, let's be honest, left wing back isn't normally his position. Right,
That's for me. He's as good on both sides. So
he is, and the fact is, he got the most amount of shots for us from a wing back. He got the most amount of tackles in the game for us, or for anybody with 6 tackles. I thought he was excellent going forward and defensively. 8.5.
Yeah, that's fair.
One of our standout players today.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ampadu next, mate.
Again, without Ampadu, we're nothing, are we? But that midfield in the first half with him, Stacken, Aronson, and Gruev,
it works.
It does, and the thing I think I'd be quite happily give Ampadu an 8. For he just give. I think he's having the season of his life.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely stepped up. One that, again, week in week out, we always say it with him, but just shows game in game out how good he actually is, and what a steal he was for 7 million. So yeah, I'm going to go for an 8 as well. Let's go Gruev next, mate, who obviously defines opinion. Should he start or should he not? Again, we're playing away from home. Farke likes to go defensively. He's going to play Gruev. Let's be honest. Until Longstaff is up to fully match fit, so as long as Buonanote's on the bench and stuff like that, he's going to be playing.
Yeah.
What do you make of him today?
I thought he does his job, doesn't he? He don't like we've said before. He don't stick in your mind for being outstanding, but he don't stick in your mind for being bad either. And I think he deserves maybe just straight 7.5, a good 7.5 easily. But I think it's one of those, when he had that shot and it went over. Had he scored, he would have been stuck in your mind then for a fantastic game. So I think, but 7.5, I think, is fair.
I think with him, like I said, him and Ampadu defensively allows one of the back three in Rodon, Pascal to push forwards. We saw it. Pascal rushed forward at one of them. Obviously, one of the first man forward had a shot. Rodon pushed forward a little bit, and that them two allows it. Yes, he's not the flashiest. We know this, but what he actually brings to Leeds, again, broken record here, so underrated. 7.5. Absolutely brilliant. Statch next, mate. I just love him. I absolutely love him.
It is. He's got a shout for man at match, hasn't he? And I think it's just. I think this is this is on Farke for leaving these players on too long. It starts like the form starts to dip towards the end because they're so tired of the. And up until the point him getting tired, he's probably the best player on the pitch. So I'd happily give him an 8.5.
I'm giving him a 9, and my man of the match. I generally thought he was sensational. Clearances, full clearances out of everybody. I think it was the most obviously, but midfield wise, he was brilliant at tackling, even in the air. Obviously, with his height, he's good. Wins the second ball well. He's an absolute nuisance.
Yeah, and he's calm. He's calm about it as well, isn't he? He's like, there's no rashness in him. Like, he knows what he's doing all the time.
There was a little bit when he first joined us, I'll admit that, with his consistency and stuff. But today just showed, obviously, tiredness towards the end, obviously, come back from an injury. That cross was a beautiful weighted cross.
Yeah.
So, and his awareness is so good, looking up, looking to release other players. Yeah, 9, man of the match. Aronson next, though, mate. Tale of two halves, would you say?
Yeah, again, this is like I say, it's one of those where he will probably up there for a shout with man of the match, in the first half. But then he didn't just drop off in the second half; he fell off in the second half. Like, it was completely different. See, you like, if the ratings were going up, he'd probably be up there with the 9 in the first half, and then he's just dropping down. So, but I think if you take that into consideration, I'd probably give him an 8, but I'm tempted to drop him even more to like 7.5 because he was doing some crazy stuff in that second half. Like it, back to like the old Aronson, like before his turning form, where he just couldn't make a decision and he just like were losing the ball when he didn't need to and stuff like that. But whether that's due to him being tired and you know overrun, I don't know.
It's a tough one because yeah, first half he was absolutely brilliant. Him, DCL, Statch, all in that front three were brilliant. But again, that second half, it was a case of he was trying too much. He was trying to be the match winner, but
Yeah,
not releasing it when he needed to.
yeah.
There was times when Justin was free on the wing or Tanaka, Statch, DCL, and he just held on for too long.
This is what I mean. It went back to being the old Aronson that it's not making them decisions so easy. And that's the big difference between like his form, change in form is he was making better decisions, and then after in the second half, I don't know what happened to him.
This is why I think 70th to 80th minute, he should have come off. The same with a few of them.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think 8 overall would be the fair. I'm only, yeah, 8 for Aronson. Maybe that might be a bit too high. But let us know if you agree or not in the chat, guys. DCL next, mate. Obviously didn't get his goal, but the hold up play I thought was good. He was unlucky not to score.
yeah,
Again, one of the
yeah. He's a dogged defender, a dogged striker, isn't he? Like just ruffling them defenders all the time, and he puts so much work into it. Like, and you don't realize the work that and effort that he puts in allows like players like Bogle and Justin to get forward and Aronson to do his thing, and he's so good to feed from. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's one of them, isn't it, where it's like you're on 9 goals, you want one more for double figures, and this is where your stumbling block comes. Like
yeah.
I think 2 or 3 games ago, that's in the back of the net, and it's just
Oh
one of
yeah.
those. It goes either side of the post, and if luck's on your side, it goes in, and it's from that point on where you think this is probably not going to be our day.
I mean, again, he's another player that I would have been inclined to take off. But again, you're against Everton, it's your former club. You've been there for the last 9 years. You want that 10 goals.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's like you bring off that outlet that's going to hold up the ball when you get a chance to go forward.
I
But
I mean, I probably wouldn't. I probably would. He were one player that I probably would stick with, but it's the players behind him that I would change
yeah,
to give him the more opportunity. So he's not
yeah,
running around as much. So yeah, I'd be happily to give him an 8 though.
7.5.
Yeah.
Tanaka next, mate. Who I'm seeing load of negative things about him online, saying he was poor. Obviously, cost us a goal. People are saying that. What did you make of him today?
Is I think without consistency with Tanaka, it's hard for him to just come in and because I don't think he's up to speed yet with the Premier League. And at moments he's good, at moments he has lapses in concentration, and you know, but I mean, you can't question it, like what we used to say, what people used to say about Aronson. You can't question his work rate. He tries. There are a couple of times where he just like he chases balls down and wins. You know, gets a deflection or wins the ball, stops the ball going through. But then he has got a mistake in him. I mean, I love Tanaka. He's like he was our player at season last season, wasn't he? But it is. I don't know if Premier League's a bit too much of a step up for him.
It's a tough one because I posed a question online the other day. What should we be doing with him? Because while he's not getting games and people are saying that he should be starting over Gruev, that's fine. But when you've got Statch, Ampadu, Gruev for away games, Aronson in the form that he's in, Longstaff, who I think is technically a best player all round than Tanaka,
Yeah.
it's hard for him to get game time. he showed glimpses of quality today with some of his passing, tackling, but I don't know. It's really, really hard to explain what I mean by that. But there is a
It's,
player there. Don't get me
it's,
wrong. Like we love
his,
him.
his consistency is just not there yet. He needs to build up to the to the pace and the of the Premier League, and when he's got time and space, it's so good. But when when he's just fresh on like that after not much match sharpness because he didn't play as often as he did last season, he is
Yeah,
he's not switched on as much. But like I say, in these type of games, I thought like Longstaff coming on were a good substitution because this is where you need that experience. You need that, what the player that he is. And I think personally, I think that's the best midfield that we'd have is Stack, Ampadu, and Longstaff as a three. I think that would be the best midfield to go into these games. But especially at this end of the season, where you need that experience and you need that quality to see you through games. Saying that, he missed. He missed a perfectly good chance to he could have squared the ball and he could have he could have put DCL in. But anyway, we're not talking about Longstaff just yet. But it's for me. I think Tanaka.
I'm going 6.5.
I'm thinking 6.5 for him.
I don't want to be too harsh. I don't want to be too harsh on him because he is one of my favourite players. But we've spoken about it many times with the step up, who can do it, who's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Last year, brilliant, absolutely quality. It's just
it just proves what I said at the beginning of the season that nobody's guaranteed to start.
Exactly.
I think at the minute you can only guarantee Ampadu, can't you? If he's fit, he's starting.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of games that Gruev played, let's be honest, how many people generally thought he would play that many games?
Yeah.
Realistically, when you look at the team that we got, the players we got in that midfield, who generally thought he'd be playing that many games? The same with Aronson. So it just shows that little things do go unnoticed and why they're actually getting picked. But you touched upon Longstaff, so we'll go to him first. Obviously, he was unlucky not to score, or should have got it on target. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he had a lot more time to pick a spot there, didn't he? Or even like say, just square it across for. He could have put the ball in for for DCL, but Okafor did the right thing, passing it out to him. It was a player in space, but yeah, is that due to match sharpness that he's not been around for a while, and he just snatched it that chance. But yeah, his quality is Longstaff, and you can see why we bought him. And I think that now he's back, it'll only be a matter of time before he works his way into being in that starting 11. But for me, was he on the pitch long enough to get an high rate? I mean, if I'm giving Tanaka 6.5, I've got to give him maybe the same.
Yeah, I was giving 6.5 for him. Okafor, mate, who generally looks so lively when he comes on. To be fair, he is so direct, Okafor, and I love the little play when he picked up the ball when Buonanotte was just lying on the floor, and then all of a sudden, not Buonanotte got up. We'll talk about that when we get on to Buonanotte. But yes, I know people are frustrated with Okafor. His goal and assist return is only like 2 goals, 2 assists. But he looked lively. He looked up for it. But he was pressing us forward. Obviously, the layoff to Longstaff, which was unlucky. What did you make of him today, mate?
Yeah, there were parts like that where he's so direct, and you don't like I think we've joked that he don't even know what he's doing, but if he don't know that, defenders don't know what he's going to do, and it's just that end product, isn't it? That final pass, or
Yeah,
and sometimes I think it does too much. Where like there were part towards the end of the game that in his own half, like deep in his own half, and he tries to take a player on and loses the ball. It's like don't do stupid things like that, But in when you're attacking, then fair enough. But yeah, there were a couple of things that he did. he put Longstaff in. You know, he got us. You know, you get corners off him quite a lot, and it's just sometimes that final ball just is not there. But I think he's a 20-minute player, like an impact sub. I don't
Yeah,
think he's
see
a
that.
90-minute player, but I can cope with him as a 20-minute substitution. Not 5 minutes. I don't think there's enough time for him to get his legs in the game.
No, I'm going for a 7. Was
I
that
don't,
2?
yeah, because when him and Buenanotte came on, the game changed. Like
Yeah,
they took us forward, and you know we gave us an opportunity to even win it, snatch it like a snatch and grab. So yeah, I'd agree with 7.
Buenanotte next, mate. He could have made himself a hero, couldn't he, if he scored that shot?
He could have done, yeah. And what I liked about him though is like this is what we've been missing is a player like that where you know he goes down like you said earlier, and it looks like he's just been injured. And as soon as like he figures out, like he sees that Okafor's got the ball and he's rolling in front, and he's like, right, get up, I've got a chance here. And this is the kind of player that I've wanted at Leeds for so long, and I just hope that he gets more game time. And it frustrates me personally because this is what Farke's asked for how many seasons. He finally gets him, but then he leaves him on the bench until the last 5 minutes to try and change the game. And I mean, this is your Buendia at Norwich. This is your star player that you've asked for. You know, it can be a difference maker. Just you
Make
know,
it count.
make it happen and make it count. So yeah, good debut for how long he were on for me. He looked a bit shaky when he first, the first pass that he made, but after that, I think he puts himself about a lot.
6.5.
I'd be happy to give him a 7, the same as for, to be
No,
honest.
that's fine. I'll come up to a 7. Let's rate Farke. Although, as I'm reading this, so Farke says that Goodmanson has an adductor strain. In this initial prognosis is 3 to 4 weeks out. So, I mean,
We miss him, don't we? I mean, Justin's a good backup. He fills in well, but he's not Goodmanson.
he did just say, but he says it does look a little brighter. Hopefully, he misses 1, maximum 2 further games, which is Arsenal and Forest. If you know by Monday that it's good, or next Monday it's going to be any more, get in a left back ASAP.
Yeah.
Because we cannot be going for the rest of the season with just him as your sole left back. Obviously, Justin's come in and done a job today, but if anything happens to Bogle at the same time, you are light on the fullbacks, wing backs. So let's just rate Farke then before we end this, because I think this will be our lowest rating for him, mate.
Yeah, well, I mean, like what we talked about with Aronson, up until half time, I'd have probably given him 8, 9, but because he's making these substitutions too late, when you can, everybody in the stadium can see, everybody watching on TV can see and crying out for it. Only him decides not to. So for that, he's got to be 6 for me, because he effectively for me he's lost us the points. Why not?
Yes, I agree. I agree. I've said that as well. I think side lineup, can't fault it at all. I don't mind Gruev. I really don't. Anyone who watches knows that. So I don't mind him actually playing Gruev. But starting lineup, brilliant. First half, brilliant. Got you can't fault him. Second half, they make 2 subs again. Same as what every other manager has been doing every other game they've played against us since Man City. Have been making subs at half time. They changed your back three. Why couldn't Farkas see that and try something different? He then 5 minutes to go, he goes to a back four, plays 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1, whatever formation it was at the time, and we're back on top. It's little things like that that need to be done quicker. And 6.5, but I know he's cost us games by not doing it. But the only reason why I'm doing 6.5 is that starting first half, starting lineup, brilliant. It's just that second half that's really irritated me.
Yeah, because it has me because you could see it coming, and it's like you there's games where Farke does change it earlier when he sees that another team's on top like that, and for some reason today he didn't. I don't know what he were hoping for, whether he were hoping we'd just hang on, and he could make them changes a little bit later, but yeah, you can't expect players to come on in 5 minutes, get into the game, and especially away from home because. Like teams like Everton, no disrespect to them, but you've got Pickford in goal. You've got players that are very experienced that they do waste time. Like you saw with Pickford, he puts the ball down in one place, moves it to another. They do it notoriously. He's done it
Yeah.
all his career, and you're not gonna get any time that ball's not in Leeds' possession. You're not giving them players time to get in the game. So you need to give him at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes, to change something.
Like, but let's be honest, though, it's still a decent point. It's still a good point
Yeah,
away from us. Let's not beat around the bush here. You said at the start of the game we're going to get a point. I think overall, point was a fair result. Let's be honest. First half we were brilliant. Second half, we still defended well. Take nothing away from how we defended. It's just that lapse in concentration. Sub should have been done earlier. Again, I understand where we are. We're in a relegational battle. We are, I think, not acting like we're better than we are, but in terms of our form, we've lost 1 in 10. So it is that whole.
But
Come
after
on,
that first half, mate, we don't look like a relegation team
no, we
in
don't.
that first half. So it's we are where we're supposed to be. It's just that, yeah, it's in hindsight, it's frustrating because
That's what I mean.
we've dropped 2 points, but yeah, a point away from home is always good. Like it's in this league, it's always a good point because you're unbeaten still,
Yeah.
and then you go into the next game. I think the frustrating thing for me is we could have took that 3 points, and the next game is a tough one.
So talking about the next game, Arsenal at home. Let's get a quick score prediction before we do end this. Score prediction: Arsenal or Leeds versus Arsenal. Shakes. We're at home at 3 o'clock on Saturday, mate. What's your score prediction?
I am going to go. Do you know what? This could be a surprise result. I'm going to go 1-0 Leeds.
Ooh, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong. They haven't won in the last 3 games. It's at Ellen Road, 3 o'clock kickoff, going in towards night time. Kind of, it gets dark. 1-0. I'd love it if we win. Don't get me wrong.
I'm just going to go optimistic and just 1-0 Leeds. I think this
the
could
fact that
be.
you're very optimistic shows everything. Let's be honest, mate. It really, really does. Oh yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Anything else you'd like to add before we end it?
I hope it don't bite me on the ass.
It is, before we do end it, great tackle by Statch. Obviously, took the player's legs out, but it is what it is. We will end it there, guys. Leeds.
Leeds.